Just a second. Thank you. I'm sorry? I'm just mumbling a verse. Hasidecha Yirahim. Shana Tova and Good Yontif. Welcome. It is our pleasure again this year to welcome Stacy Tanner to help ease us into a Yom Kippur frame of mind with a couple of meditative cello pieces. The name of the pieces are in your announcement page. Just to remind you of the purpose and the procedure of what's going to happen beginning in a moment or so. Stacey will come up. She will perform these two pieces. When she is finished performing, we want to hold on to that note, that last note of the cello Kol Nidre that she'll be playing, and kind of hold on to it within ourselves until Stuart comes in with the formal chanting of Kol Nidre. So we ask that we try not to interrupt that moment with any other noise. Stacy knows that I have asked you in previous years, and will ask you again, not to applaud at that point, but to send her your appreciation by what's on your face, rather than by creating that interruption. So as soon as she is finished, we'll ask, I'll ask now that as soon as she is finished, all of the presidents, the past presidents of the congregation, should just come up to the bima as we open the ark, take out a couple of Sifrei Torah, assemble ourselves on the bima as a formal Beit Din, a court. At that point, we'll rise, and so we'll begin chanting Kol Nidre. bottom paragraph, page 204.
Beshiva Shamalo Uvishiva Shamato Al Dahatamakom Al Dahatakal Onumatirin Lehitpalel Imavarianim Beshiva Shamalo Uvishiva Shamato Adatamakom Vyadatakal Onumatirin Lehitpalel Im Havayanim Beshiva Shamalo Uvishiva Shamato Adatamakom Vyadatakal Onumatirin Lehitpalel Imavarianim. Kol Nidre Service Macharomei Vekonomei Vechinuyei Mekinusei Ushavut Dientarno Udei Uliacharim no Bedasar no Al Nafshata no Didar no Ureishtabano Udiacharim no Udiacharim no Vedasano Onavshatano Miyom Kippurim Ad Yom Kippurim Aboleinu Letovo Kulon Ichradno Vehon Kulon Yehon Sharon Yehon Sharon Shvi Yekin Shvi Betelinu Mevutalin Lo Sharirin Velo Kayamim ושבועתנו לא שבועות. Kol Nidre ויסורי וחרומי וקונומי וכינויי וכינוסי ושבועות. Din darno udeyishtabano uvodeyacharimno vedasarno al nafshotono. Din darno udeyishtabano udeyacharimna vedasarno al nafshotono. Miyom Kippurim zeh ad Yom Kippurim haba aleinu letovom. Kol hon ichratna vehon. Kol hon yehon sharan yehon sharan shvikin shavit betelin umevutalin lo sharirin velo koyamin nidrana lo nidre veyesarana lo esare ushevuatano lo shevuot. Kol Nidre ויסורי וחרומי וקונומי וכינויי וכינוסי ושבועות. Dien darnom o deish tabana o deyacharimno vedasarno al nafshatanu didarno Udei yeshtabano Udei achariyimno Udei achariyimno vedasarno Nafshatanam Miyom Kippurim zeh Ad Yom Kippurim Haba aleinu letovam kulhon ichratna vehon kolhon yehon sheran Yehon Sharon Shavikin Batelinu muvutalin Lo sharirin velo kayamin nidrana lo nidarei veyesarana lo esarei Ushevuatahana lo shevuot v'ni yeslach lechol adat v'nei Yisroel v'lahager hagar betocham ki lecho ha'am bishgaga v'niselach lechol adat b'nei Yisroel v'lahager hagar betocham ki lecho ha'am bishgaga v'niselach lechol adat b'nei Yisroel v'lahager hagar betocham ki lecho ha'am bishgaga selachno lavonam hazeh כגודל חסדך וכאשר נסעת לים הזה ממצרים, ויד הנה, ושם נאמר, ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו, מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
You may be seated.
Good evening, and welcome to everyone. It's nice to see so many faces out here tonight. As your president, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Ahavas Israel, it is my honor to stand up here and speak to you on Kol Nidre with what is traditionally called the Yom Kippur Appeal. Last year, some of you may remember, my speech came from a personal perspective of why I am committed to being a part of Ahavas Israel. So this year, I decided to turn the proverbial table, or in this case, podium, and talk about something else. That something else is you, along with your time and your talents. For many of us, we come to shul on Rosh Hashanah and on Yom Kippur so that we can review the past year, make ourselves right with the world, and have a fresh start with the new year. We might think about how we could have done things better or differently. Perhaps we think about things we didn't do but should have, or things we did do and shouldn't have. But now comes the appeal thing, or as I'd like to call it, the challenge. I challenge you to donate to the Yom Kippur Appeal in an amount that is meaningful to you and your families, so that we can sustain our congregation. We gather in this building, and just like our homes, it requires attention and maintenance, and that costs money. This physical structure is not only a building, it's also a representation of our community. We need to care about the building because it helps us bring our community together. But more than that, because on a daily basis, it is filled with people that we care about. It's not just bricks and a roof and electricity and plumbing. It's people that love this community and dedicate their lives to caring for it. Our support of this building is one way we demonstrate our care for our fellow congregants. The building represents a means to an end, a place you can donate your money and you can see the tangible results, something you may not be able to do with other charitable donations you make. This building is a place for Shabbos service, holiday celebrations, Torah studies, Havurah gatherings, and musical performances such as the beautiful one we have this evening. All of these events can only happen with your support. I am well aware that it might be difficult to find extra money to donate above the dues, and that is why I use the word meaningful. I am asking you to search within to determine what is important to you. Now, if you'd like to give more but you can't, I challenge you to give of your time. Get involved. Engage with us. Help in the office by sending out mitzvah cards or making calls for the Sunshine Committee. Help organize an event or clean up after one. Sell tickets to a fundraiser or simply come to one. Because the truth is, aside from the money, we need you, your time, and your talents. These things take time, and we're all busy. I know that. I know the feeling of not having enough time. No one has enough time. I don't even know what enough time is, but honestly, we all have the same time. There's only 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. But as with our money, we need to make choices in how we spend that time. None of us have more time than the other person. It's all in how we prioritize. In fact, every congregation comes with at least one member, an extremely important member, and not the rabbi. Who is this person, you ask? It's the one person that is called someone else. And thank God for someone else. Because that person will donate, that person will volunteer, and that someone else is right here, right now, sitting amongst the congregants. It's that person who leaps into action every time there is an idea that starts with, somebody should. Yeah, the reality is, it takes all of us. And I'm asking all of you to be that someone else. Ahavas needs you. We need your passions, your interest, your talents, your involvement, your energy, and your commitment. We need your ideas and your support. I challenge all of you to be that somebody. I ask you to consider with an open heart and mind how you can contribute to Team Ahavas. Yeah, I had to slip in a sports thing there. Your contribution, whether big or small, will make a tangible difference in the lives of those who seek comfort within our walls. It will enable us to embark on new initiatives to reach out to those in need and to ensure that our congregation remains a safe haven for traditions, a source of strength for all who enter. If you have your envelope with you, you can pass them to the center and an usher will pick them up. If you didn't already pick up your envelope, they're outside the door on a table, and we even have some for our guests among us. And with that, I'd like to wish everyone a Gemar Hatima Tova. May you be sealed in the book of life.
We'll begin our service now for this Kol Nidre evening. On page 207, we rise for Baruch Hu. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
מסדר הכוכבים בשורותם בוקר כרצונו ויבון. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וכיום, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני Hamariev Araviem. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisroel. Amchov Torah Mitzvot Chokim Mitzvot Nemoton Limator Kenikam. Kinis Ma B'Divitor Dechom Mitzvot. Kiem Chayenu. V'yorech Yameinu V'hem Nege Yomam V'layla. V'avahatecho. Al Tasir Mimenu Le'olamim. Baruch Ata Adonai. Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Voen. Ve'ohavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levonecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'letecha v'aderech Ushapecha uvkumecha, ukshartam liot al yodecha, v'hayu l'totafot bein enecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvishorecha. V'hayu im shemu et yishmu et Mochem yatzer et hashamayim v'lo yirem et ha'adam v'lo yirzachu l'mari v'yichem al adam ha'asheni l'aloret v'yomer lo yisnedaber v'ritzitzi Lord, Adonai Elohechem Emet v'emuna kodol v'kayom oleinu. Amarichin rabbanot oiveinu v'yom karneinu hakom. V'yoti Yisrael v'tokanenu ma'avir banov ben Gizrei Yam Suf et rodfeihem v'etzonehem bitomot tiba v'rovanov gevurato shibchu v'yodo lishmo u'malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uvenei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simecha rabba v'yomeru chulam michamocha bo'elim Adonai mikamocha nedar b'kodesh Noratei Lord עושה פלם. מלכותך ובונך בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדו אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גואל Yisrael.
Amen. Together, page 211. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully and to awaken again to life, our sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies and pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you are the sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us and over all the people Israel and over Jerusalem.
Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
We rise, second paragraph, page 212.
Vayom hazeh yechaper aleichem letaher etchem mikol chatoteichem lifnei Adonai titaharu. Yitkadah v'yikadah Shemei Rabbah Ve'alamad divrei chirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayerecho beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'yezman karib ve'imera. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach
Le'al hamula
Me'al Maya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yipoar V'yitruman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalau Shemei L'Kudeshah Berichu le'yelo mikol berchata v'shirata tosh bechata v'nechemata damiron beyalema Amen.
When you finish with the Amida, you may be seated. We'll continue on page 223. Together at the top of the page. May our supplications rise up at evening, our pleas arrive with the dawn, our songs transform the dusk. May our voices rise up at evening, our righteous acts arrive with the dawn, our redemption transform the dusk. May our suffering rise up at evening, our forgiveness arrive with the dawn, our purity transform the dusk. May our prayers rise up at evening, coming to you with the dawn, transforming us at dusk.
Yale dafkenu meyerev veyavo gilenu mi boker veyeroe bakashatenu adareb yale enkatenu meyerev veyavo elecha mi boker veyeroe eleinu ad orem.
Page 225.
הנשם לך והגוף פהלך חוסו על המהלך הנשם לך והגוף שלך אדוני עשה למען שמך אותנו על שמך אדוני עשה למען שמך בעבור כבוד שמך כי ילחנו ורחום שמך למען שמך אדוני וסלחת לעווננו כי רב הוא דרכך אלוהינו להאריך אפך לרעים ולטובים והיטילותיך למענך אלוהינו עשה ולא לנו ראה מידותינו דלים וריקים תעלה רוחה להלל נידף תנחם על עפר ועפר תשליך חטאינו ותחום במעשיך תראה כי איש עשה עמנו צדקו אל רחפיים התואר אדוני ברחמים נקראתו תבן אלינו רחמך ויתהו הבא רחמים תעבור הפשע ותמחה אשם כיום ויתייצב עמו שם. תאזין שבותינו ותקשיבנו מאמר כיום ויקרא בשם אדוני ויעבור אדוני על פניו ויקרא.
Rewind, bottom of 226.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachom v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Yemed, Notzer Chesed, Lo Alafim, Nose Yavon, V'Fesha, V'Chata, V'Nakeh. Zolachto Lavonenu, U'Chaltatenu, U'Chaltanu, Zelach Lanu Avinu Ki Chatanu, Mechalanu Malkeinu Ki Foshanu, Ki Ato Adonai Tov V'Sorach, V'Rav Chesed L'Chol Korecho.
You may be seated. 227.
Ki hine kach omer beyad hayotzer birtzoto marachiv uvirtzoto mekatzer kein אנחנו בידך חסד נוצר חסד נוצר לברית הבית לברית הבית ויעטפן ליצר.
Second paragraph together. As stone in the hand of the mason preserves or breaks it at will, so are we in your hand, God of life and death. Recall your covenant. Do not heed the accuser.
Hine kagarzen beyad hecharash birtzoto adibek lo virtzoto perash kein אנחנו בידך תומך אני יברוש לברית הבית לברית הבית ויעטפן ליצר.
Fourth paragraph together. As the helm in the hand of the sailor who holds the course or abandons it at will, so are we in your hand, good and forgiving God. Recall your covenant. Do not heed the accuser.
Ki hine kazchuchit biyad hamzageg birtzoto achogeg uvirtzoto memogeg kein אנחנו בידך מוחל Zadon v'shegeg La Brit HaBeit La Brit HaBeit Ve'yah Tefen La Yetzer.
Second paragraph from the bottom. As cloth in the hand of the draper, who drapes or twists it at will, so are we in your hand, righteous God. Recall your covenant. Do not heed the accuser.
Yehine kakesef beyar hatzoref birtot mesagseg uvertot metzaref kenanachnu biyadecho Mahametzi lemazor teref la brit habeit la brit habeit ve'yah tefen la yetzer.
Page 229.
El melech Yoshev al kisei rachamim mitarim achazir muchavonot amo. El oreita lanu lomar shalosh esrei zachar lanu ayam berit shalosh esrei kemo shenatam le'anav mikedem kemo shekatuv vayired Adonai bayanan vayityatzeh imo sham Vayikra b'shem Adonai, vayavor Adonai, apanav vayikra.
We rise and join together with the 13 attributes of God.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachom v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, Berav chesed ve'yemen Noter chesed lo alofim Nosei avon v'fesha v'chata v'nageh Zalachtu lavonenu chatotenu unchaltanu Salachvanu avinu ki chatanu Mechalanu malkeinu ki fashanu Ki ato Adonai tov v'salach v'rav chesed L'cho korecho.
You may be seated. We continue together with the top paragraph on page 231. Even before I came to be, your kindness accompanied me, for from nothing you formed me. Who was it who fashioned me, spun the clay, fired the kiln, hardened me? Who breathed life into me, opened the belly of the deep, pulled me out? Who guided me from childhood to today, gave me understanding, filled me with wonder? Though I am but clay in your hands, was it not you who made me? Truly, you, not me. Yet I confess my sins, and I do not say that I was fooled by another who beguiled me. Why would I try to hide my sin from you? For even before I came to be, your kindness accompanied me. Page 232.
El melech Yoshev al kisei rachamim mitnachei b'chasidim u'chavonot amo
סליחה לפושעים את צדקותים.
אל הורית לנו לומר 13, זכר לנו היום ברית 13, כמו שדעתו לענה מקדם, כמו שכתוב, וירד אדוני בענן, ויתייצב עמו שם, ויקרא בשם אדוני, ויעבור אדוני על פניו ויקרא.
Please rise.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Bechanun, Erech Apayim, Berav Chesed Ve'yemet, Notzer Chesed Lo Alafim, No say avon v'fesha v'chata v'nake v'solachtu lavonenu chatatenu unchatanu salach lanu avinu ki chatanu mechalanu malkeinu ki fashanu Ki ato Adonai tov v'solach b'rav chesed l'chol korecho.
May be seated.
Kirachem abal banim ken terachem Adonai el aleinu L'Adonai Yeshua l'mocho b'chotecho selah Adonai tzevot imanu mizgav lanu Eloi Yaakov selah Adonai tzevot asher Adam boteyach bach Adonai Yoshia HaMelech yanenu v'yom koreinu Selachno lavonam azek godel chazdecho וכאשר נסעת ליום הזה ממצרים בידנו ושם נאמר ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדברך.
Page 233, Shema Kolenu. Each verse will be chanted by Stuart, and we respond by reciting each verse together. We'll respond by reciting the verse in English.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Chos ורחם עלינו וקבל ברחמים וברצון את תפילותינו.
Hear our voice, Adonai our God. Be kind and have compassion for us. Willingly and lovingly accept our prayer.
השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשוב חדש ימינו כקדם.
Turn us toward you, Adonai, and we will return to you. Make our days seem fresh as they once were.
אל תשליכנו מלפניך, ורוח קודשך אל תיקח ממנו.
Do not cast us away from you. Take not your holy presence from us.
אל תשליכנו לעת זקנה, ככלות כוחנו אל תעזבנו.
Do not cast us away as we grow old. Do not desert us as our energy wanes.
יראתנו רפינו והגיון ליבנו לפניך אדוני צורנו וגואלנו כי לך אדוני הוכלנו אתה תענה אדוני אלוהינו.
You may be seated.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אל תעזבנו אותנו ואל תחלימנו ואל תפר בריתך איתנו קרבנו לתורתך ולמדנו מצוותיך הורנו דרכך הד ליבנו לראות את שמך ומוד לבבינו לאבותיך ונשוב אליך באמת וללב שלם ולמען שמך הגדול תמחה אותי ותסלח לעווננו כך כתוב בדברי קודשך ולמען שמך אדוני וסלחתי לעווני כי רב הוא אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו סלח לנו מחל לנו כפר לנו כי אנו עמך ואתה אלוהינו אנו בניך ואתה אבינו אנו עבדיך ואתה אדוננו אנו כיולך ואתה חלקנו אנו נחלתך ואתה גורלנו אנו צונך ואתה רוענו אנו חרמך ואתה נוטרנו אנו פעולתך ואתה יוצרנו אנו ראיותך ואתה דודנו אנו סגולתך ואתה קרובנו אנו עמך ואתה מלכנו אנו ממירך ואתה ממירנו אנו עזיפנו ואתה רחום וחנון אנו כשי עורף ואתה ערך אפיים אנו מלא עוון ומלא רחמים אנו יומנו כצל עובר ואתה הוא שנותיך לא יתמו אלוהינו ולאבותינו תהבו לפניך תפילותינו ואל תתעלם מתחינתנו שאין אנחנו עזיפנים וכשי עורף לא מה לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו צדיקים אנחנו ולא חטאנו אבל אנחנו חטאנו.
The son of a close friend of mine, T. Wise, wrote this about what we are about to do on page 235, the Vidui. He wrote, in Jewish ritual, there is an urge to expel our wrongdoings, to put them onto a physical thing and send them away. During Tashlich at Rosh Hashanah, we put them on crumbs of bread or bird seed and threw them into water. Take these ugly parts of me and get rid of them. Before Pesach, we burn our chametz. Take those small parts of me that are small and stuck and transform them into smoke. In the Torah, it describes a Yom Kippur ritual of putting your hands onto a living goat, placing the sins of the people on its head, and expelling it into the wilderness. Take the worst parts of ourselves and force them into an empty wilderness space. Take them away. And I understand this urge. We've all seen things that we've done and felt that they're somehow separate from us, that we can carve them out of ourselves, put them onto an altar, light them on fire, compost them, get rid of them. It makes sense to want to send our mistakes far away from us, to detach from our worst selves. But during the vidui, we touch our chests, we tap our chest, we pound on our chest, we touch our bodies each time we call out one of these sins. We keep ourselves present here. We don't detach, we don't run away. We call ourselves to attention. This tap on the chest is a knock. It's a, hey, are you home? And we need that now. Parts of ourselves are asleep. It seems natural that our minds, whatever holds our feelings, needs a rest now and then. But we can't sleep forever as living beings. This tapping can be like a Morse code, trying to get a message to the parts of us that are strong and whole and holy and good, telling them, come back, we need you. We rise now for this Vidui 235.
Shamnu Bagadnu Gazanu Debarnu Dofi Hevieno Vehir Shanu Zadnu Hamasnu Tafanu Sheker Yatsnura Kizavnu Latsnu Maradnu Niyatsnu Sararnu Aviyanu Pashanu Tararnu Keshinu Oreb Rashanu Shechatnu Tiavanu Tayenu Tiyetanu.
May be seated. Paragraph Bet.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Selach Mechal Avotenu v'Yom HaKippurim Hazeh Mechei v'Aver Peshoenu v'Chatotenu Mineged Einecha V'chol et Yitzorenu L'ishtabed Loch V'Achnar Peinu L'shuv Elecha V'Chadesh Kilotenu L'shmor B'Kudecha U'molet Levavenu Le'avol L'urat Shemecha Ka'katuv B'Torotecha Umol Adonai Elohecha et levavcha v'et levav zarecha levo et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha leman chayecha.
Paragraph Daled, page 236.
Shimcha me'olam over al pesha Shabbatenu tahazin B'yamdenu levanecha bitfilah תעבור על פשע ליam והפשע, תמחה פשענו מנגד עיניך, אתה יודע רזי עולם, ותלמוד סתרי כל חי, אתה חובץ כל חדרי בטן, ובוכן כליות ולב, אין דבר נעלם ממך, ונסתר מנגד עיניך, ובכן יראתם מבניך, אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו, שתסלח לנו על כל חטאותינו, ותמחה לנו על כל עוונותינו, ותכפר לנו על כל פשענו.
We rise for the next vidui, page 237, together at the top of the page. We have sinned against you unwillingly and willingly, and we have sinned against you through hardening our hearts. We have sinned against you thoughtlessly, and we have sinned against you in idle chatter. We have sinned against you through sexual immorality, and we have sinned against you openly and in private. We have sinned against you knowingly and deceitfully, and we have sinned against you by the way we talk. We have sinned against you by defrauding others, and we have sinned against you in our innermost thoughts. We have sinned against you through forbidden trysts, and we have sinned against you through empty confession. We have sinned against you by scorning parents and teachers, and we have sinned against you purposely and by mistake. We have sinned against you by resorting to violence, and we have sinned against you by public desecration of your name. We have sinned against you through foul speech, and we have sinned against you through foolish talk. We have sinned against you through pursuing the impulse to evil, and we have sinned against you wittingly and unwittingly.
Ve'yakolam Elohai selichot selanu mechalanu kaper lanu ve'yakolam Elohai selichot selach lanu mechalanu selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu al chet shechatan levonecha bechachash uchazav ve'al chet shechatan levonecha bechapat shochad al chet shechatan levonecha belatzon ve'al chet shechatan levonecha b'lshon hara al chet shechatan levonecha b'masa u'matan ve'al chet shechatan levonecha b'machal u'mishteh al chet shechatan levonecha b'neshech u'marbit ve'al chet shechatan levonecha b'ntiyat garon al chet shechatan levonecha b'siach sifotenu ve'al chet shechatan levonecha b'sikur ayin al chet shechatan levonecha b'einayim ramot ve'al chet shechatan levonecha b'al zut metzach ve'yah kolam Elohai selichot selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu ve'yah kolam Elohai selichot selach lanu mechalanu selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
Middle of 238 together. We have sinned against you by throwing off all restraint, and we have sinned against you by rashly judging others. We have sinned against you by plotting against others, and we have sinned against you through selfishness. We have sinned against you through superficiality, and we have sinned against you through stubbornness. We have sinned against you by rushing to do evil, and we have sinned against you through gossip. We have sinned against you through empty promises, and we have sinned against you through baseless hatred. We have sinned against you by betraying trust, and we have sinned against you by succumbing to confusion.
Ve'yakolam Elohai selichot selach lanu mechalanu selach lanu mechalanu kapelanu.
We remain standing and turn to Avinu Malkeinu on page 243.
Avinu Malkeinu chatanu lefonecho Avinu Malkeinu lechavata
Avinu Malkeinu batel machshavot tzolenu
Avinu Malkeinu kol atomiyenu Avinu Malkeinu
Avinu Malkeinu slachem mechalach u'malteinu
Avinu Malkeinu achazirenu b'tshuva Shalema lefonecho
Avinu Malkeinu achzireinu b'tshuva shalema lefanecha
Avinu Malkeinu shalach refuah shalema lecholei yamecha
Shalach refuah shlema
Avinu Malkeinu zachrenu b'zikaron tov lefanecho
Tov lefanecha
Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu b'sefer chayim tovim Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu b'sefer geula v'yeshua Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu b'sefer parnasa v'chalkala Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu b'sefer zechuyot Avinu Malkeinu Kadvenu b'sefer selicha umchilot
Avinu b'sefer tzlicha mechila Avinu Malkeinu atzmach al-mishah b'kavro Avinu Malkeinu shemach oleinu chus v'rachem aleinu Avinu Malkeinu zachur ki afar anachnu Avinu Malkeinu chamor Avinu Malkeinu senem mahal
Leman choim lo lemanehinu Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu aneinu Avinu Malkeinu Choneinu aneinu Ki ein banu masi Imanu tzedakah v'chesed Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshiyenu.
You may be seated.
Yikaravi kadash shemei rabbah Amad v'chetevet v'chaychon v'chonekal beit Yisrael Ba'agolot v'akorivim eru Amen Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach Le'olam le'yom me'yom ha'yom Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipor v'yidurman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'shemei l'kudesha b'reichu Le'ela mikol b'chata v'shiurata tu'b'chata v'nechemata Damiram bi'alema v'imeru Amen Titkabal tzelotan uvotan d'kol Yisrael Kodom avuhon divishemaya v'imeru
Amen.
Yehi shalom rabo min shemaya V'chaim olim v'kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen
Amen.
Se shalom b'muramav Hu yaseh shalom oleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen.
Anne and Elizabeth have copies of my remarks. If you need a copy, there are a limited number of copies available. Just raise your hand and they'll give you one. If you don't get one today, you can get one from the office on Tuesday or download it from the synagogue's website later in the week. This thing that we're doing here today as a continuation of this repentance, this teshuvah that we started on Rosh Hashanah, this atonement, or these prayers seeking atonement that we do. If you think about it, it really sounds like it should be something that we do as individuals. Each of us has a different set of things that we need to atone for, that we need to apologize for, that we need to do teshuvah for. My sins are different than your sins. It would make sense if my Rosh Hashanah and my Yom Kippur were personalized and built around the things that I need to atone for, and your Rosh Hashanah and your Yom Kippur was built around those precise things that you need to atone for. It would make sense if I were to spend my time on these holidays very differently than you would need to spend your time. But that's not the way we Jews do things. Kol Yisrael arivin zeh lazeh. All Jews are responsible for one another. We might be doing individual spiritual assessments and individual teshuvah, but we gather in partnership in community to atone together, because we are all responsible for helping each other atone. In Judaism, very little is done in isolation from community, which is to say that it can be done alone, but we encourage each other not to separate from community. As Hillel said exactly in those words, Al tifrosh min hatzibor. Prayer can be done alone, but we enhance the experience of prayer within a community, in a minyan. We consider prayer in a minyan to be a superior mitzvah than prayer alone. Shabbat and holidays are a time to connect with others, to celebrate, to learn a little Torah together. Many mitzvot are focused on other people and different ways to build community. And even a home-based ceremony like the Passover Seder is an opportunity to join with others. The biblical celebration of Pesach explicitly tells people to join with their neighbors in groups approximately large enough to consume an entire lamb. So it's fitting, therefore, that we spend some time on Yom Kippur looking around us and considering the state of our community and considering what we might do to raise up the community and to help it continue to meet our needs for years to come. We exist to serve those in the Jewish community in Grand Rapids who seek a spiritual path incorporating traditional Jewish practices. And we exist to serve those who believe that God welcomes you as God created you, regardless of your sex or gender or skin color, and to fully include each Jew in all parts of religious life. Our mission is to create a welcoming, inclusive, and engaging sacred community. And we are the only synagogue in Grand Rapids filling that precise space. It's a different space than Chabad. It's a different space than Temple Emmanuel. We exist to hold that center space. And there's tension, deep tension in holding a space like that, because we ask you to coexist with people on this field of Jewish practice who may hold very different kinds of practices or beliefs than you. They may have different political beliefs than you. They may have a different kind of job than you. They may have a different level of income than you. They may have a different kind of education than you. We exist to bring all of those different pieces together. And we recognize that this center space incorporates a range of Jewish observances, from those who are very meticulous about kashrut or Shabbat observance, to those whose Jewish practice centers around social or environmental activism, to those whose spiritual lives are rooted in intellectual engagement. The conservative movement, through the lens of serious study of Torah and rabbinic literature, affirms a spectrum of beliefs regarding gender and orientation. So we welcome both those whose gender does not match their biological sex and those who believe strongly that biological sex is determinative. And there is no doubt that this creates tension in community. But I believe, it is important to hold this tension. We might keep kosher differently, but we can sit together and eat food from the synagogue kitchen. The synagogue's kashrut policies have been crafted with a hope that each person in our community can find something that they can comfortably eat. Some in our community use Shabbat as a day to stay off electronic devices and social media. Others observe Shabbat by coming to this building for a service or by celebrating at home with a special meal. For others, Shabbat is not such an active presence, but we come together as a community by creating an intentional space within these walls on Shabbat and on holidays in which we can feel the active presence of the sacred time, even if we don't observe that sacred time quite in that way in our own personal space. Much has been written and said lately about the state of Israel, in which recent legislation has determined that a narrow political majority representing a minority of voters can impose its will on the whole of society. But my desire to stand with the state of Israel doesn't affect your ability to protest the current government of Israel. And your protest of this current government does not affect our ability to come together to celebrate Israel's birthday. What we want to do is create a space in which majority and minority exist together, neither one imposing on the other. If you want to be called to the Torah as a bar or bat mitzvah and celebrate growing up into manhood or womanhood, you may. If you want to be called to the Torah as a non-gendered individual, mibeit, from the house of your parents, you may be called to the Torah that way. Your ability to function as a non-gendered individual should not affect my ability to function as a gendered person, and my desire to have a wife of the opposite sex should not affect your ability to access an all-gender bathroom. Rabbi Jessica Kate Meyer wrote a beautiful reflection about finding balance while tuning her violin. She wrote, "With thumb and forefinger, I apply firm but gentle pressure and rotate the tuning peg up and down, intentionally ringing the string out of tune, too flat, then too sharp, dancing on either side of the desired pitch, feeling for the boundary of in tune. I wiggle the peg back and forth until somewhere along the route between sharp and flat, I hit the sweet spot. I can feel that in-tune string vibrate through my whole body. It's blissful and all the sweeter because I know what it is to be off-key. From years of tuning my violin, I learned that finding balance requires stepping off balance, stepping out of comfort zones, off-key, into complexity, and feelingly finding our way back home. As we tune, attune, and atone this year, may we never shy away from the off-key, nor the complexity, always listening for the sweet sound emerging from the dissonance. So that dissonance, that's what makes us a multi-tonal congregation. That's the tension that we hold. My note of balance isn't the same as your note of balance. As we tune our community, balance requires stepping off balance, stepping out of comfort zones, off-key and into that complexity. Our vision is to create connections between individuals in our Jewish community through religious, educational, and social programs that attract the participation of all of our members. Achieving that vision requires compromise. Each individual won't get everything they want. Some of our members want to work towards climate stability in Grand Rapids. Others want to work for a stronger Israel or to reduce anti-Semitism. Some want to work towards greater inclusiveness within our congregation, and others are hyper-focused on Torah or Shabbat or prayer. Not every person will find fulfillment in everything we do, but if we do it right, every person will find something to connect to. And that can happen only when each person invests themselves in making it happen. We will thrive when we share Torah that speaks to traditional Jewish practice, the development and refinement of the soul, a connection to Israel, or Torah which benefits the world around us, Jewish or not. Torah is meant to be challenging, not just to affirm what we already believe. Torah can and should be provocative. Torah should have depth. If Torah is only a political echo chamber, it may be politics dressed up as Torah. If Torah surprises you and stakes out a countercultural position now and then, it may be an authentic voice asking for your attention. Now, we need people to take care of the building and the congregation and to raise and to manage funds to make sure that we're fulfilling our mission and to assist with programming. A congregation can't survive when leaders are asked to volunteer full-time. We need to share the load. We need to cooperate and to make room for others to share responsibility. We need to let the organization and its programming evolve and do things differently as new people take responsibility. And we do need your support, and you heard that very clearly from our president's address earlier. This institution needs your support and your presence. We need you to show up and to participate. If traditional Judaism is important to you, if our kind of traditional egalitarian Judaism is important to you, then we need to see you and hear your voice. If you are able, we'd like you to raise your level of Hebrew or learn to read Torah or chant a haftarah or lead part of a service or assist with gabbai duties or serve as an usher. We cannot thrive without a continual stream of new people willing and able to participate. A first-century rabbi known as Choni, the circle drawer, came across an old woman planting a carob tree. He said to her, "How long will it take for this tree to bear fruit?" She replied, "It will take 70 years. 70 years, cried Choni. You're not exactly a youngster. Are you certain that you'll live another 70 years to enjoy the fruit of this tree? Perhaps not, said the woman. However, when I was born into this world, I found many beautiful carob trees planted by those who came before me. Just as my ancestors planted trees for me, I am planting trees for my children and grandchildren so they will have carob to eat. Each generation pours its time and effort and money into maintaining a synagogue for the next generation. To be open to welcoming new people as you yourselves were welcomed. To work towards the synagogue's vision, to participate, to recognize the good works, to recognize that a small community is limited only by the number of people willing to pitch in to make things happen. To be selfless, not to think about what I want and need, but rather to think about what others want and need. May this community unite its hearts and mind to form a beautiful rainbow tapestry of individuals coming together for our common good. We'll conclude our service beginning with Aleinu. We rise, page 246.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon ha'kol, v'tei tefillah le'atzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'yeh ha'ratzon, v'lo samanu k'yishpat ha'adama, shelo samanu kohen, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'amam. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהולת השמיים ויוסי אורץ, חטאינו, רק נקבל
Al kein nekavel chanay omahin v'lerom nahim.
יקים כל ליל ושווה לפניך עלינו ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We continue with Psalm 27, page 248.
ודוד אדוני ראשי ממהר וחשבתי מאת אדוני ותבקש ומני אל אדוני שמענו כל מבקש
Al titnei v'nefesh tzara ki kamu vi.
לולי המענתי לראות בטוב אדוני בארץ חיים קווה על אדוני חזק ואמץ ליבך וקווה אל אדוני.
I believe tonight we recall the yard sites of Gary DeJager, Francis Hoffman, Emil Herskovitz, and Marcella Wachter. Yehi Zichron Baruch. May their memories be a source of blessing. Mourners Kaddish, for those who mourn, observe yard site, please rise. Mourners Kaddish, page 247. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach Yerutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imaru, Amen. Yahei Shemei Rabbah Barach, le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shmei dekudsha, Barichu la'ela la'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imaru Amen. Yahei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru Amen. Gemara Chatima Tova, the traditional greeting for Yom Kippur is, may you be sealed in the books signifying goodness. We would like to thank the Kovacs family in memory of Toby Linka. We are thanking people for these beautiful bima flowers. And Dale and Carol Kramer in memory of Joel Jack Kramer. Karen Libman in memory of Janice and Ellen Libman. Barbara and Stuart Rappaport in honor of Rabbi and Marissa Khrushchev's 30 years with the congregation. Lisa Reshevsky and Edith Reshevsky in memory of Shelley Knapp, Mitchell Reshevsky, Karen Reshevsky, and Melvin Reshevsky. Barbara Wetman in memory of Ann and Joseph Wetman, Robert Wetman, and Hermina Sikkema. Thank you for Stuart Rappaport's beautiful davening this evening. There is more to come tomorrow morning. Our service begins at 9 o'clock. Join us anytime between 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock-ish. Please make a note after the holiday to contribute to our Operation Isaiah campaign. You can read about it in your announcement pages. And note the upcoming Sukkot and Simchat Torah events, as well as other things happening in the next couple of weeks as our holidays will continue. We will conclude our service with Yigdal on page 250.
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimtzo v'yenet el metziyuto echad v'yen yachid ki yechodo ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'yachduto en lo demut haguf v'yeino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kademon lechol davar asher neyevra reyeshon v'yen reshit l'reshito ino adon olam v'chol notzar yoreh Gedulato umalchuto shefa nevuato netano elanche segulato v'tifarto lokam b'Yisrael kemoshe yod navi umabiyit et emunato torad emet natan leyam oel al yad neviyo neman beito lo yachalif oel velo yamir dato leolamim lezulato Sofa v'yodea sitarenu ma'abit letzav davor bekadmoto gomer le'ish chesed kemifalo noten lerosh hara kerishato yishlach lekejamim Meshiachenu le'yivdah